Well, it's that part of the year again. We are wrapping it up. And funnily enough, my motivation to do this episode is or has come from two main sources. And a disclaimer up front, I'm not using any kind of a script. I am here in my parents' room, locked all the doors and windows because I still don't have a mic because there's no reason. I just didn't get a mic. A good mic, I would say. Sorry, old Mike, you've been doing very well. Mike, the number of times I said Mike, I sound like Harvey Specter. And one more reason was, uh, I have to say this. One of the episodes, what was uploaded was actually, I had referenced the person. I'm not going to say which person it is, obviously. And this person asked me to take down one of the episodes because he or she or them, sorry, because they didn't want their public, I mean, the a personal or private story to be public in that way. So that's when I realized, well, kind of hurt me a lot that things had to go that way. But then nonetheless, I wanted to do this episode because I even saw the Spotify wrapped for creators, and it gave me all these stats like 44% increase in your audience from previous year. And I'll be honest with you, the numbers weren't staggering in any sense, but then it's also a testament to the fact that I did not put, I wasn't that consistent with these episodes, and I do take accountability for that, no denying. But then I would just say there are a lot of things, or there were a lot of things which are going on during this year that shook the very core of my foundations. I'll tell you, I'll give you that. And with the most recent one being, I was put in a situation where I didn't even ask to be part of that situation. I was put in that situation, and then, oof, I was, ripped. No, not ripped. Ripped isn't the word. Ripped is something I want to be. I was whipped. That's more like it. And it's pretty unfortunate, but nonetheless, a great lesson, a lesson to be learned, a lesson definitely, most certainly learned by me. And yeah, it does sting. It does sting, and not in a good way, not in a WWE sting. Sorry for that. Uh, but yeah, it was. I mean, without diving too much into it, it was definitely a sort of lesson or a learning or whatever you would call it. And you do need to get into situations like this from time to time to just, I don't know. I would say it's a rite of passage, or what do you call that? Origin story or canon event. Yeah, Miles Morales, canon event, all that stuff. So yeah, that was it. And I'll be very honest. I don't expect this episode, or I'm not gonna particularly share it for the masses to see or something like that. But then it's just gonna be somewhat of a self documentary, and I actually come forward in a kind of more of a melancholic and a sad tone, if you will. That there are a lot of things that went wrong this year. I cannot deny that. Most I lost, not in the sense exactly lost, or yeah, I parted ways with a very, very important person in my life, and it wasn't easy to say the least. Me being the one who pulled the trigger, and but nonetheless, the person has left. The pain still persists, and which is again a canon event. Uh, that's something. But I learned swimming this year, and that was a pretty a huge high five to the 9-year-old me who was crying beside the pool in such a way that my tears gave a real tough competition to the water. And I mean, that sounds needlessly dramatic, but nonetheless, yeah, that was something which I feel very proud of, and that kind of topples every bad thing that has happened this year because I'm really proud of that. And that's saying something because you're given promises that a certain year, or at the beginning of every year, you're given a promise that, hey, you know what, your year is going to be like this, your year is going to be like this. You have a fortune cookie, you have astrologers telling you, hey, this rashi, this, it's going to be like that, it's going to be like this. And very quickly into the first 2 3 months, you realize, holy shit, I'm in for a ride, you know, and which is fine, which is not a bad thing per se, because everything results in character development. There are two ways to seeing it, and I'm, as you can see, I'm seeing it in both the ways. I'm occasionally shifting from seeing it in a good light and seeing it in a bad light. So it just boils down to how you want to take those lessons, because some of them for me have undeniably been bad. It's just a case of bad. I mean, "Arey yaar, why does this need to happen to me?" kind of bad. But the best you can do is just take the positives. I mean, um, there are many things that happened in 2025 which I love. I started getting into reading more. I would have read around 15 to 20 books, and it just gave me a wider avenue to consume media. And also the podcast. Yeah, the podcast was a pretty, it was a decent success, or it was a actually, if I'm being honest, it's a great success, because it gave me a platform. It gave me platform to connect with people, and it gave me a platform to showcase my talents if I have those. And that's there. And but then I'm using "and" a lot. There are not that many conjunctions in what I have to say, to be honest. Yeah. And never mind. So that's one thing. And I should stop saying that. Okay. I'm becoming too self conscious. I mean, you don't have anyone here telling me, hey, you know what, you're using "and" a lot, so you need to stop it. Can I say Andy's hamburger, or is that even banned? Okay. Mm. Where was I? The year in review. I think the lesson here to be learned is that you don't have to have a black or white situation about your particular year, I would say. You don't need to think whether it went right or went wrong. There would have been many things that went right. For instance, not things that went right. I'm giving quoting an example for things that went wrong. So I was supposed to go on this Thailand trip, an international trip, with a friend of mine, but unfortunately some things happened which I don't want to state here, and the trip was cancelled. It was something I was very much looking forward to. It was something that I had dreamt of for the longest time. And unfortunately, I mean, I don't blame this on anybody at all, because this was certainly unavoidable. And life just does these things to you. I mean, I had the option to go alone, but I didn't choose to, because I don't, I don't particularly see the benefits of going abroad alone. I personally don't see. I mean, solo travelers out there, if there are, if there's one or two of you listening to this podcast, I apologize. I don't see the world in exactly the way that you do, and which is fine for me. I appreciate the way you look at things. I think I'm digressing heavily here. So the takeaway is that that was something I was very much looking forward to. I took the initiative. I did all the planning, the meticulous planning. Uh, okay, not to boast about, or not to be overbearing on this thing, but then it was certainly something that I put my effort into, and which didn't happen. Now, I did cry about it, or I did fret about it for a couple of days, but then it just has to, just has to move on. I mean, I cannot keep crying or worrying about it. Although I did lose money, but then that's fine. I mean, maybe in the heat of the moment, things are taken away from you, and you definitely don't have a say in that, but then it's fine. The way it's just, pat yourself on the back and then move on, because greater things may be waiting for you. Now, I won't lie, the first thought was, okay, something really bad better happen in Thailand for me to justify, oh wow, it was actually a good thing that you didn't go, something. But that was pretty selfish of me. I acknowledge that. And that's why I couldn't get to go. Now, while my passport still remains a virgin without any kind of foreign stamps, I am looking forward to 2026 with a positive outlook, because I think this year is going to be a year of self development, and hopefully that's numero uno, goal numero uno. And that's about it, at least for how I feel about the next year at the end of this year. I know this is a season or this is a week where people would want to dive into New Year resolutions or something like that. I would strongly advise against it because I feel the best New Year resolutions are the ones that come 1 month before or 2 months after the New Year, because that's what actually going to stick to. I mean, there's no use bandwagoning of New Year resolutions or something like that. And it's going to be a beautiful year in the sense that it genuinely feels like the start of something new, because I am keeping a lot of things back in 2025, something which I've been carrying for almost a decade. And while it is incredibly scary and life has been pretty shitty without these things, the unknowingness or the anticipation of new things does excite me. Hopefully, it should excite you. I mean, there are people who have absolutely conquered it this year, and my hearts go out to them. You guys may have had shitty previous years, and you guys did incredibly well. I'm happy for you. Those who have a positive outlook going into 2026 and carrying the same thing from 2025, you guys are amazing. But there are also those who have probably a lot of things to forget or leave, or just, you guys have just pushed through a very terrible year and you guys just want to make sure that this doesn't happen in the next year. My hearts go out to you too. Guys are I hope you guys hang in there. I'm also hanging in along with you, and I genuinely hope it's a good 2026. But all in all, why this podcast, why this specific episode, I do not have an answer. Like as I said, this this notification might just go to the followers per se. I'm not going to put it on my status or I'm not going to advertise it. In fact, even if I do more episodes, I'm probably not going to keep marketing it or something, because in between, it's more like a self reflection, but in between, it was a kind of a wannabe fame or shoot to fame, shoot to glory, or something like that. That was a quick greed, I would say, to put it in the more simpler way. It was a greed to get more followers and more likes or something. But this episode does not come from that kind of a notion, or I would like to think that, because it doesn't matter. 2 people listen to this, I'm happy. 20 people listen to this, I'm happy. I don't see the numbers going more than that. But then, yeah, I would like to think that, okay, if this does resonate with some people, it would reach the right audience. And it's that's one thing I would like to carry into 2026. You cannot push things, you cannot force things, and yeah, you certainly cannot force things. And that's what I think you all should do too. Don't push or force things. I mean, try to reach out to someone, and I don't know, I'm just quoting an example. Try to reach out to someone and they don't pick up, or you try to reach out to them even if you're in a very bad state of mind and you just want to talk to that person, they don't pick your call. I think it's time to let it go. This person may or may not have the worst, I mean, or this person may not, I'm sorry, I'm totally going off track here. This person may not harbor any ill feelings towards you, and they may not want to not pick the call. I know I'm stretching the analogy a bit, but just bear with me here. But even if they don't pick the call, that doesn't mean they don't want to talk to you. Maybe it's for the best that you guys shouldn't talk, and it's just a sign that we must move on. And the particular relationship or the particular friendship or whatever it is, or whatever kind of companionship that has been holding you together for all these years or months or days, just severed. And that doesn't have to invalidate the kind of things that you guys went through as a group, or as 2 people or 3 people or whatever that is. The death of something does not invalidate the life that it lived. So as to say, if you break something, it doesn't mean that it was never together. It's just that in that particular moment, it was meant to be broken, and it had to break to make way for better things in your life. I hope this message reaches the right people, and You guys can take something from it. I don't mean to virtue signal. I am party to many mistakes in my life. I've hurt people intentionally and unintentionally. But that's the thing. You learn something from it and you carry it over for the rest of 2026, or 3-4 days in 2025. Try to cultivate something right now, which is what I aim to do. Don't be spiteful, guys. Just don't be. I mean, there's no good that has ever come out of a grudge. There's always something good that came out of a chocolate fudge. Those will not be the last things I said in 2025. I have more things to say, but yeah, that's about it. I will try uploading these things. If there's an audience, hey, I love you. I it's very hard to see. I'll be honest, it's very hard to see all these experienced creators shooting to fame. I mean, obviously they've had a difficult up uprise or difficult upcoming whatever it is, their journey to the top or something. But then the dopamine of big views or something can get caught in someone's art, and this is my art, whether you like it or not, whether it resonates with you or not. This is my art. And if you're genuinely listening out there and supporting me, whether I know you or I don't, thank you. Truly, thank you. This is something I started in 2023 and we are here in 2025. 2 years. I may not be uploading consistently, but I am uploading it right now. And even if there's one person who's listening, I'm more than happy to do this for the rest of my life for you. And I will do it more often, just not market it, put it on my status and all that. Perhaps there's a time and age for that. And if I reach there organically, I reach there. So that's about it. Thank you so much for listening. It means a lot. Means a lot. Whoever you are, if you've known me, if you don't know me, you have in a bad or a good way made my 2025. And regardless of how you made it, I am thankful for your interaction, for your activity in my life, for the impact. And Karthik signing off from Idayam to Idayam for 2025. Let's meet next year. Boom.